Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a fascinating plunge, really, into a spiritual practice shared by Keea from the YouTube channel Living Water Spiritual Healing. She calls it the art of soul longing. We've got her insights here, and, well, our mission is to unpack what this longing truly means for deepening one's experience with the divine. We're just presenting Keea's ideas as she describes them, not really endorsing or refuting anything.
Absolutely. And it's quite an experiential source, isn't it? Almost a step-by-step guide, you could say, to connecting with what she calls God's soul. It's all through this nonverbal, feeling-based approach. It really makes you think about communication in a totally different way.
Yeah, it does. So let's start there. Keea introduces this idea, the art of longing. What's the core of that? What's it all about?
Well, the core idea is that it's this really profound kind of wordly opening of your soul, like a pure feeling of reaching out and also receiving back. What's quite insightful, I think, is how it's not framed as just, a one-off thing. It's presented as this continuous current, spiritually speaking, an always-on channel.
Exactly. And always on channel for interacting. A constant flow between your soul and what Keea calls God's soul. And she says it's available at all times. Apparently, it gets easier as your soul sort of awakens and finds its true desire.
Interesting. And it's surprising maybe how practical the guidance gets for something that sounds so, well, profound.
Yeah.
So how does Keea say you actually start? How do you begin to deepen this experience?
Right. Well, it starts very physically, very grounded, using the body as a sort of doorway. First step is bringing your awareness, your mind, right into the center of your chest.
Okay.
And then breathing fully into that place, really allowing it to open and widen. It's like creating a foundation, a space there.
And then it goes deeper from that chest center.
Yes, exactly. Then the guidance is to drop a little deeper into what she calls the heart center. That's where emotions reside. This connects with a lot of spiritual ideas, the heart space being this emotional or energetic hub.
Right, the heart center. Yeah. She describes it as a deeper feeling place that also opens up, widens, and builds, like a swirling vortex of energy. Keea even describes feeling it like a real sensation of warmth expanding in your chest.
Wow. Okay, so chest, then heart, then what?
Then you drop even further to what's called the pinnacle of your being, which she identifies as the soul. And the goal is presented as something, well, deeper than just emotion. It's a stable, pure existence of you, a place where you can actually feel its movement and awareness.
That's quite a journey inwards, from physical awareness right down to the soul level. It's intriguing. So once you're in that soul space, what's the next step? What does Keea say you do with this longing?
Okay, so from that deep place right there in the soul, the instruction is basically to send those longing experiences, those desires of your love to touch God.
Yeah.
It really emphasizes letting that love just flow freely. No inhibitions.
Just letting it go.
Yeah, with pureness and innocence, like a complete, unreserved outpouring of feeling.
So this wordless flow of love, this feeling, does Keea talk about it like a literal language? Or is it more metaphorical, you think?
Well, she actually states that this flowing love is a language of the soul that emanates to the Creator.
Ah.
So yeah, position is a direct way to communicate, which, raises a big question for anyone listening.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, your love flows out. What does Keea say happens next on the divine side?
Right, and that's where the source talks about reciprocation. It says, and this is a lovely phrase, in the tress of that emanation comes God's response, and an inflowing by the grace of the Holy Spirit touching your soul. So basically, Keea's saying, as your love goes out, God's love comes back in. Is that it?
Precisely. That's the core of it. And what's fascinating is this idea of a continuum, a constant give and take. Your love flows to God, God's love flows to you. This exchange, she calls it a very deep experience, especially powerful during prayer. It's described as a state of at one-ment with God, where your soul and God's soul communing. Yeah. And the key insight, I think, is this idea of simple divine reciprocation. Keea seems to suggest that just the act of genuine longing itself triggers the response. It implies that the essence of the Creator isn't something you have to, earn. It's something you receive just by opening up.
That's quite different, and it doesn't sound like something you only do sitting quietly, in a prayer corner. Can this art of longing, can it stretch beyond those specific moments? Can it be part of just life?
According to Keea, yes, definitely. She asserts that through your practice, you actually develop this state of being in longing at all times.
Hmm.
So as you just move throughout your day, it might not feel, quite as strongly as when you were in prayer, she admits.
Right, maybe more subtle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it develops into a very deep channel for God. So it's really about shifting, isn't it? From just an occasional practice to more of an ingrained way of being. And that's a pretty significant shift from how many people might think about connecting spiritually.
Yeah, it is. So what does that mean then, practically? What are the bigger implications for daily life if you strengthen this communing, as she calls it?
Well, strengthening it is said to lead to learning how to walk at all times with the grace of God in your awareness. It's beautifully termed the art of being beloveds, an ongoing expression of love. And ultimately, Keea says, what the soul truly desires is just to be in this state of at one-ment with God. It's an art. And she says, we are the artists.
The art of being beloveds. I like that. Now, Keea also touches on something quite practical, a shift in our mental state, a benefit. How does she describe this easing of, doubt and worry?
Right. The source suggests that as you get better at this art form, your conscious mind and awareness no longer struggles with doubt and worry and concern, or perhaps more realistically, struggles less. She acknowledges it takes time, it's a process.
Okay, so it's not instant relief.
No, probably not. But the claim is that when your awareness is upon the center, the pinnacle of your being, meaning the soul, then your mind is at ease. It's in the flow of grace, and it finds harmony with your soul.
That sounds like a really profound outcome. Mind and soul working together, harmoniously engaged with God's grace. Does Keea explain how that happens? Like the mechanism behind the mind calming down or how it affects, say, daily choices?
She mainly emphasizes that the mind's role changes because your core awareness is shifted. It's rooted deeper now in the soul. So it's less about the mind actively battling problems and more about it resting in that state of grace, letting the soul's kind of natural wisdom guide things.
Okay, resting in grace. So wrapping this up a bit, this art of longing. It's not just an idea, is it? It's presented as this active, wordless practice, a journey from the body deep into the soul, aiming for this constant flow, this give and receive with the divine. And the promise is, well, deep personal harmony, maybe even freedom from some of that mental struggle.
That's a great summary. Yeah. It really highlights this idea that our deepest desires, our deepest longings, when they come purely from the soul, they aren't just, wishes sent out into the void. They actively take part in this ongoing reciprocal dance with the spiritual, almost like a spiritual magnetism.
A dance, yeah.
It really invites you, the listener, to think about what your own soul truly desires. And maybe how that pure longing, that feeling, might already be shaping your connection to something greater, whether you label it that way or not.